And now we head over to Europe when on October 16th there was a terror attack in Brussels, Belgium, which targeted Swedish citizens. The perpetrator, Abdesalam Lassoud, is a 45-year-old Tunisian national. He killed 2 Swedish football fans while injuring another before he was killed in a firefight with the Belgian police on October 17th. Responding to the situation, the ambassadors of the OIC member countries in Sweden made a joint letter as an expression of condolences to the victims and the people of Sweden. And now we have our very own contributor in Sweden, Noni Wibisono, who will be sharing about the updates.
On October 16 in Brussels, Belgium, at around 7:15 p.m., Lassoud, a Tunisian citizen, opened fire on Swedish soccer supporters at the intersection of 2 highways next to Saint-Heloptade, leading to Swedes dead and 1 wounded. The victims were on their way to Sweden-Belgium soccer match at the King Bodum Stadium, were recognized as Swedes because they were wearing a Sweden jersey. A video by Lassoud circulated on social media in which he claimed responsibility for the attack on behalf of the ISIS. Belgian federal prosecutors immediately centered their investigation on terrorist motive as the following morning and Lassoud was traced to a cafe in the town of Skarbeek, where he was shot by Belgian police and died on the way to the hospital. I quote the statement of Ulf Kristersson, the Prime Minister of Sweden, that Sweden has in modern times never been under as big as a threat now. In response to the attack, Kristersson urged the region to bolster their borders and to have internal security to prevent dangerous individuals to stay in the bloc. For the incident, the ambassador of the OIC countries, including Indonesia, in Sweden, made a joint condolence letter as an expression of condolences to the victims and Swedish people and condemned the act of terrorism. Here is the statement of Excellency Kamapradipta Isnomo, Indonesian ambassador to Sweden and Latvia.
The Embassy of Indonesia in Stockholm initiated a joint letter by a group of ambassadors from OIC member countries in Stockholm, Sweden, that was addressed to the Foreign Minister of Sweden, Mr. Tobias Billström. The letter essentially expressed our heartfelt condolences and sympathy to the victims' families, and that the OIC member countries stand by with the people of Sweden during this time of sorrow. We also express our rejection towards such acts of barbarism and terrorism. On a similar note, the ASEAN Committee in Stockholm, which consists of the Embassy of Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Laos PDR, Philippines, and Vietnam, also issued a joint letter of condolence addressed to the Foreign Minister of Sweden. We also express our heartfelt condolence and sympathy to the victim's family, and we also express that terrorism is something that we are against and should be eradicated.
Some media was mentioned that Europe has raised the security level. Meanwhile, it is worth noting that Sweden has raised the security level assessment, has been raised to 4 in scale of 5 since August, citing that Swedes has become legitimate terror target, especially since the burning of the Quran. Noni Wibisono reporting from Stockholm, Sweden, for City Today. Back to the studio.